if you're watching this, you're behind. Everyone else is building, everyone else is working, and everyone else is improving in life. And you're just there. You're just stuck in a cycle of complete failures. You're just stuck scrolling, numbing yourself, and while you're doing this, others are improving their lives. Someone your age is outworking you, and maybe someone who is younger than you has already built massive things that you could literally dream of. Is to say that someone has started later than you and is already ahead of you. This is not motivation. This is a wake-up call. I know you probably like to hear these feel-good things whereby people tell you that things you want to hear, that you're just early, you're figuring things out in your own time. Everyone has their own time to succeed. And so you choose comfort. You maintain that same level of energy that you started with. And I'm here to tell you that you're actually late. Society lied to you and people lied to you. They just wanted you to feel good, something which is not gonna help you in life. So things like take your time, enjoy your youth. Your 20s are meant for parties, for having fun, are actually a really big lie. If you actually look at the winners, you'll notice that they start moving early. They start taking action really early, while the losers, probably you delay. You do not take action. You just see opportunities and you let them pass by. You just take a little to no advantage of the opportunities being held out to you. And so you think you have time to build whatever you want. I'm going to tell you a really painful truth. Time is something that you will never get back. This time that you're wasting, the 1 minute, this time you're using to watch this video, it's never going to come back. And someday in the future, you'll actually wish you utilized that time really well to work on your goals or to do something meaningful. And it will already be gone. Your youth will be gone. You'll be old. You'll no longer be really active. You'll no longer have the strength to attack fiercely your goals. Think of life like a race, and some started years ago while you were just procrastinating. People like these feel-good fantasies where they think that there is no competition. There is actually a really fierce competition, and everywhere in life you're competing, whether you like it or not, whether you are aware of it or not. Let's say in jobs, someone who is more skilled than you is actually going to take your job. Even if you talk about corruption, exactly, you will not last long enough in that job if you do not have the necessary skills. So someone who is more skilled than you is actually competing with you for that job. Whenever we hear of job interviews, people line up. Over 1,000 people apply for jobs, and yet only one gets that job. Can you see how serious that competition really is? This also applies to women. They tend to choose people who are more disciplined, who are successful in life. And most probably, you're not. So you'll end up losing in every relationship, and you'll start thinking the worst. Maybe you're not able to attract someone. And this is just because you're not disciplined enough. Money also applies the same. Someone who is more focused on his goals, someone who wants it really badly, and who actually takes massive actions and provides value, gets to keep it. And you're there just sitting, waiting for money to come to you. You just want to feel good, to be comfortable, and That is not how money works. You actually provide value, and in turn you'll get it. The world actually rewards output. Whatever amount of value you put out, it's the one that is going to feed you. I'm going to explain to you why you are behind. You are addicted. You're probably addicted to comfort. You have your phone, you have your social media, and I've said this in countless videos. This is the quickest way to ruin your life. Social media addiction, most of the things actually in social media, you do not need them. Even the things you think are really important, you don't need them. How did people used to survive without social media? Maybe if you are learning something that will help you, maybe you are in a certain niche, you just consume in the sense that you choose to produce the same content or something that is better than it. You get ideas from other creators. That is the only way you can actually convince me to use social media. But 99% of the people watching this, they are probably not into all that. So social media is actually a really big distraction. You don't have a direction, you don't have a specific goal, you're just following every trend, everything that comes, you're there. Every opportunity, you just choose to follow it. You're just there for the vibe. Whatever people like, you just follow through. Whatever people think of, and you just go with it. Others wait for motivation. And if you wait for motivation, you'll actually wait your whole life, because motivation comes every once in a while. So if you rely on motivation fully, then you're not going to make any progress in your life, because motivation is there one day, it's not in the next. Choose to have discipline instead. Discipline will be there to serve you all your life. So do not miss a day. Always be productive daily. Show up. Discipline is everything. And another reason is you avoid pain. You avoid losing. You avoid people judging you. Learn to think like this. Growth is equals to discomfort. Whenever you want to grow, you'll face discomfort, because one part of you is dying so that another is reborn. And whenever a part of you dies, then it feels really uncomfortable to actually embrace the new version of you. So do not run from it. Actually embrace it. Embrace the discomfort. That is the one thing that will actually serve you. So these are the costs of being behind. You actually lose massive opportunities. People used to talk about the time when others were investing in Bitcoin, and a lot of people actually regretted not buying it. So people are actually buying it now, of which I would not advise, because Bitcoin is falling. So people jump on trends later in life. They do not take the opportunities they have seriously. So while you're behind, you're not taking advantage of the available opportunities. You just judge them. You just think every opportunity that comes your way will turn into a failure. You lose the respect. People in turn do not respect you, because they see you are not making any value, or you're not doing anything with your life. You're just there. You're just a social media braggart. You just have an opinion on everything on social media. Just scroll your day. You eat, you sleep, you repeat, you scroll, you eat, you repeat, you watch movies. You're just there. Maybe you go to the job you are doing, and this cycle will make you miserable. People won't respect you because you have no value to give to the world. Confidence will also be lost, because once you cannot provide value, you'll no longer see yourself as important. And when you no longer see yourself as important, you'll start to shrink. when you see someone who is more important than you, what do? You shrink. So confidence will be at an all-time low. You'll no longer be able to attract that good woman that you want, or other opportunities, because confidence is key in everything you want to do in life. So you'll start doubting yourself. You'll start thinking maybe you're just built for a mediocre lifestyle, and you have very, very much potential, but you're just sitting on it. So you'll start doubting yourself. You'll start calling yourself a failure. You'll start regretting why you were born in the first place, because you don't do anything with your life. You just choose to live a mediocre lifestyle. You'll start comparing yourself with others. Like I said, maybe someone who is younger than you will actually make it in life way earlier than you. And so you'll start comparing, and you'll start becoming more and more miserable, because you'll see the other person has made it and you haven't. And so what do you feel? And if you're honest, whenever someone who you are older than, or someone who is younger than you, makes it in life earlier than you, then as much as you want to sound politically correct and you want to say that you're happy for them, you'll be jealous. So start working harder. The life you avoid building right now, you will be forced in the future to actually work 100 times more than whatever you're avoiding right now. So just take the leap and actually do whatever you're meant to do in this time you have now, this youth. You don't have responsibilities right now. So this is the time to follow your goals. Nobody should tell you anything. You should actually follow your goals. Everyone has a moment where they think they've wasted time. I've been there a lot of times. I've thought that if I started earlier, I would have actually made much more progress, more than where I am right now. So if you're actually thinking this, then no, you are on the right path. You're already thinking accurately. So instead of regretting it or actually doing more damage, why don't you start now, so that your future self can be proud of you? So you can either choose to cope and live in the continued comfort, and always just choose to judge yourself and to feel bad about yourself, or you can choose to change and actually become better in life. Most people actually just scroll, they blame politicians, they are distracted by the masses, by games, by maybe football. Few people, only the 1%, actually take full responsibility. So what do winners do? If you want to become a winner, it's important that you actually have that mindset of a winner. So what do winners actually do? They start before they are ready. When I started making these YouTube videos, I was not ready. Actually, I made a couple of videos for months and I did not post them. I used to delete and post them and delete, and I never made any progress. The time I started to post was the time I actually started making progress. So it's important that you know that once you start, don't think of perfection or a time that you will be ready. You will never be ready if you think that way. I'm proof of that. I actually wasted years before I actually took real action. So start right now when it feels uncomfortable, when you feel like you'll mess up. That is how you learn. So just focus on the output. Don't focus on what people think, what others think. Just use what other people think to correct yourself. when you see a notable mistake or they see a notable mistake, they will correct you. So you don't really need to actually learn forever. Most people just spend their time learning, and they don't execute. What's the point of too much knowledge if you don't execute? There's this quote that says that knowledge is power. Yes, knowledge is power, but knowledge which has been applied, that is what is power. They also embrace boredom. It's just repetition. You just repeat, you'll get bored, because when you do the same thing, you'll eventually get bored. And this is the real time that you don't have to quit. You'll just go on, just repeat, become disciplined, repeat, and with time you'll become really good at whatever you're doing. And they also cut out all distractions. Be ruthless with your time. Create a schedule, a timetable that you follow strictly. I know you won't follow it fully, but this is the point of creating a timetable. You actually try and follow it. I also don't follow mine fully 100%, because there are other factors that you've not considered. Maybe an emergency, maybe one person will call you, so you just start adjusting throughout the day. But at least you have a guide on how you're going to go about your day. So winners don't really feel like doing the things they want, they just do it anyway. I don't really feel like making these videos. In fact, right now it's like at midnight and I'm just recording. Most people are asleep. I can just choose to lie down and go to sleep and wake up tomorrow at 12 p.m. and life will just move on. But I decided not to be mediocre, and I decided this is the time to shoot, because this is the time I am most uncomfortable. This is the time where I want to be comfortable. So I just choose to go against my mind. So stop seeing yourself as someone who is trying. Trying is not a good word. See yourself as someone who is executing. Live from the end, like you are that perfect version of yourself. So if you actually choose to live as that perfect version, you'll eventually become that perfect version. But if you choose just to say that you're trying, you'll just continue trying your whole life. You'll just choose to become more mediocre and more mediocre. You don't need motivation. Just look at your life. That is enough motivation. If someone drives a car out there, and maybe it's a GLE, it's a Mercedes, it's a Lambo, and you don't feel that urge, you don't feel bitter, then you probably are meant for a mediocre life. And if you actually feel that pain, then that is enough motivation. Everything outside here is enough motivation for you. The type of woman you want, you always see her on social media. That is enough motivation. Everything you see, maybe someone has a better phone, maybe someone is doing this, doing that. I'm not saying you become jealous. I'm saying you actually use that. You choose to become that guy. You want something, you work hard for it, and you go and get it. So raise your standards. How you work, you should work professionally. Always have a journal, like a business, whatever you're doing. How you live your life, live life fully, live like that successful person. How would that successful person behave? Then become that version. How you think, start thinking like a winner. Start telling yourself things that will actually make you a winner. You start thinking right now that you are that winner that you want to be. So I'm going to give you like a challenge right now that if you do, you'll realize massive improvements in your life. So start by cutting out all distractions that you have, everything that is hindering your full potential. Limit your social media and start by cutting it out in small bits, and then progress and eventually cut it off completely. Remove time wasters, cut people off. It's not a bad thing to actually cut people off. I always say this: if someone is not serving you, then you have no time wasting with them. So start by cutting people off. Set one clear goal, not two divided things, just one, and choose to go all in. Choose to focus on that one thing that you want to do, and just go all in and work really, really hard like an animal. And you'll realize that within a short period of time, you'll actually make it. Build a daily system. Like I said, create a schedule, and it should actually be similar. This is where boredom comes in. Your days should look like, I'm not saying similar in a way like work a job, wake up, go to job, come back, sleep. You should actually maintain a schedule where you create a schedule at night time, and you make sure that you follow it, at least 90% of it. Track your progress. I always use this. I like to think of my life like a game. So I always track my progress. Whenever I've made progress, I just tick it, or I write the points in which intensity have I done it. And so this will help you to actually know where you need to improve. And the last one, stay consistent. No excuses. Show up every day, even if you're sick, even if you're tired, you're jet lagged, whatever happened, you got into an accident, you just show up same way every day. Just show up. It's not that hard. You'll realize that after 1 week, you'll start getting used to it. But if you actually miss a day, then you lose a lot. This is the hard reality. You're behind now, but it doesn't mean that you cannot catch up if you actually do it right. But that will only happen if you actually move now, right now. Every day you delay further, you just fall further behind. People progress forward and you move further. Thinking about it doesn't really change the circumstances you are in right now. So even if you think about it, it will not help. What will help is starting to take action. If you're watching this, you are behind, but you don't have to stay there. The question is, what are you going to do after this video ends? Become the greatest your bloodline has ever seen. Then pass it down.